Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Campos with No Limits Incorporated. I wanted to upload a video to explain the purpose of using a 1979 Camaro for the ministry that I founded back in 2019. Um, well, I want to use this car as an example of a restoration of a car and a restoration of a life. The process of restoration is very time consuming, especially like for a car restoration, it costs a lot of money, time, dedication, not giving up, finding the right people, to work on the project and then, in our lives, the same deal, it takes the right people, takes dedication, takes time and not giving up and just lots of perseverance. So that is the main reason why I want to use my car for that. Because, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I have always been like an addict who uses to cope when like big situations arise in my life. It doesn't make it better to be that type of addict, but I had always I thought I always had my life together, I always worked and always had things going, but there came a situation in my life that really wasn't going very well. I had pretty much lost everything and started using cocaine, actually crack cocaine. And I was smoking weed and drinking alcohol and just, not really caring about anything. So, one night I was actually drinking, and I think this was probably in 2015, that I decided that I was going to get this car and take it to my house and restore it. So I was drinking that night, by the way, and my younger son, Joshua, and another friend helped me actually push this car by foot to where I was living. It was probably about a mile from where it was parked in Belen, and it was a big process. It was hard to get it over there. I didn't have anybody to help me tow it or anything like that, so that's how we did it. So I, got the car to the house, and I started working on it. I put an engine. As soon as I put the engine, the transmission went out. And then, so that year after I got the transmission put in, I didn't, do anything else to the car. The car was a mess. It was needed a paint job again because the paint that was on it was just, really wearing down. Didn't have any of the inside in it at all. It was all gutted out. It would like rattle, I mean, really bad when you would drive it down the road. So I was had to put a DWI machine in that car. So I put the DWI machine in the car because I had gotten my second DUI. Long story, but I I had a thyroid cancer that I didn't know about, but I was like self-medicating with a lot of stuff, so I had 2 DUIs from medication and alcohol. Anyways, so I took that car to Gallup because I had moved to Gallup the following year, I believe at the end of 2016. So I was in Gallup and kind of just really didn't have the money to like buy parts at the time. But so here we go to 2017. So I buy the carpet for the car. And then started buying like little parts for it, and I really didn't know what I was doing as far as ordering parts and where to get them from, so it was a lot of mistakes, a lot of money, a lot of wasted, just a lot of things. So had the carpet for quite a while. I found somebody to put the carpet in Gallup. um and it wasn't until about 2018 that I really started, buying more parts. And mind you, this car has a lot that needs to be done to it. There's like rust on it, on the inside. The floor panels are pretty bad. So I have carpet in there, but the floor panels aren't good. And then, so I'm buying all these parts, just keeping them in the living room, holding off until I can start restoring the car to the fullest. So then, right around, I guess, like the end of 2018, I get this idea in my head, and I know it wasn't from me, that I was going to found a ministry. And I was going to use the car in the ministry instead of using it for a car club. So fast forward to like before April. I founded the ministry in April of 2019, but before that I just started coming up with names and everything like that. And so I just came up with No Limits Incorporated. So I had to, check to see if the name was available through the PRC. And so I got that going, got all my documents together, and then had started trying to put the parts on the car. Boy, was that a mess. Everywhere that I was taking my car, like, I was getting messed over. I took it to a body shop. It was so bad that I actually had to hold the door while I was driving, and it was just a mess. Everywhere I went, nothing would go right for me. So I think a little bit later that year, maybe like in July of 2019, I spoke to this lady at Walmart in Gallup, and she told me that her husband did interior work. And so I was like, cool, so I paid this guy to do the interior work for my car. So I had gotten that done, which was amazing. And then shortly after that, I took my car to another mechanic shop over there, finally found somebody that, did some good work. So I got, stuff put in there, like a torque converter, put new leaf springs. And then a couple months later, I brought my car to Belen and brought it to a mechanic that I know pretty well, and bought a brand new engine for it. And so he put the engine in that, so I brought it home. And then I would say, I guess the following year in 2020, November of 2020, I brought the car to Belen to get it painted. And, COVID's going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I take it to a few different shops. Nobody wants to work on it. They tell me it's going to cost so much money. And so I took it to a shop there in Belen. And, my car ended up staying at that shop for 2 years and 3 months. And I really can't say that it was all of the shop's fault, because I believe that because I was trying to use this car for my ministry, that I was receiving just a standoff from the enemy to not allow me. Everything I was trying to do, he didn't want me to do this ministry. And not that I'm important or anything like that, just, he doesn't want any of us to change our lives. He doesn't want us to speak. And so, it was very, very frustrating, because I was waiting and waiting and waiting for this car. So, but in the meantime, what I'm doing with my ministry is I'm in Gallup. Since even before I had founded the ministry, like those couple of years that I was there, I started planting flowers. Like I planted flowers on Main Street. Um, Beautiful, beautiful little yard. Um, Started planting flowers, in the middle of town. I had started going to an AA group over there in 2017, and I had planted flowers over there, I would say like in 2018. And I would go and clean up, yards and like little places that looked really horrible. I would like volunteer to go water the plants inside the Small Business Development Center. I had a friend that she wanted her roses done, and I went over there and watered her roses and clipped them, and I just really love to plant flowers, and that's kind of like my gift. And people used to tell me that it was amazing that they would walk by and see the flowers at the AA house, or my friend was so in love because her dad had planted those rose bush and they were almost dying, and we got them back, beautiful. And just people would tell me like, God, it's so inspiring to see you plant flowers over here. And so, it was just amazing. But and I, would hand out gloves in the winter time to the homeless people and find people to feed, and just like, help people here and there with gas and just whatever. But so that's the things that I was doing, while I was waiting for my car to be restored. And I also had a friend there in Gallup that I would pray with every single day. We compiled a list of people, probably about 50 people that we used to pray for every day that were either in abuse or addiction, and all of that stuff. So now it is January 16th, 2023 tonight, and it's a Monday night. I just picked up my car on Friday. So my car is completely restored. I have restored every single thing in that car. Almost everything is brand new, besides the differential in the transmission. I've got a brand new 350 engine in there. I've got a double pumper 4-barrel carburetor, and all the shocks are brand new, tires are brand new, inside's new, all of that stuff. So, I'm very proud of what Jesus has brought me through, and I really didn't go into, the addiction that I was in. I mean, it was so horrible. If any of you that are listening to this, that you have been addicted, you know what the process is. It's like you cry and pray and get on your knees and ask the Lord to help you, and the next day you're at it again and you're addicted and you just can't stop and you don't know what you're going to do, and like you're trying to find ways to help yourself. And so, this is why this car is so very important to me, because Jesus is the one that put that idea in my head to stop buying drugs and start buying parts for it. And it's a very long process, because it's 2023 right now, and I started this project in 2015. I have been sober from weed. It's been exactly 4 years and like, I don't know, 2 weeks, because I quit on January 5th of 2019. I had quit drinking in 2017, and I had quit any kind of cocaine in 2016. So, it's been a very long process. I have 3 sober dates, and it was not easy at all. And, now I don't ever think about getting high when I'm having problems in my life, because I don't ever want to go back to that place again, ever. Is it easy? No, sometimes it's not, but I just made a decision in my life that I was going to stick by that. And I hope that this, little story explains, the why that car is so important to me and how Jesus used it to turn my life around. And what I want to do with my ministry is I want to meet people. I want to, as an older woman, we're supposed to teach the younger women how to act and how to behave. And, I want to just be an example to the world of women and also men, just because it says No Limits Incorporated Abuse Awareness Foundation, and I'm against abuse on women. I'm against abuse on anybody. And I have myself been abusive. I have actually tried to run over somebody with that car because of my anger. So, God has just been really working on me the whole time, and He's taking things out of me little by little, not only just the addiction, but, learning how to cope and loving myself and dealing with rejection and abandonment and, childhood wounds and just all these things. It's just a big, long process. And that's what I want to do is I want to encourage anybody out there that is, dealing with any of that. It's never too late to start working on yourself. I got saved when I was probably 9 years old, and it took me this long to finally figure things out. And I'll never, have everything together, but at least, I'm in a better place. And God, He speaks to all of us. All of us have a ministry. All of us, He tells us in the Word to go out into to the world and make disciples of Jesus Christ. And this is what I want to do, is I want to show my life as an example to the world. And so I hope all of you guys have a good night. I didn't want to make this video too long, but it's hard to, just go right through it. But I always like to add at the end, if anybody needs prayer for, drugs or alcohol or anything like that, anything, just you can email me at jennybug.jg@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. And I hope all of you have a blessed night. God bless.